Hi. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you for nice introduction. Thank you very much. I think I am audible, correct? To all?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now here we are discussing the true origin of organic matter in petroleum. Just wait. The fact since the day of its discovery, the origin of petroleum has been a matter of debate among the scientists and geologists. There are two theories regarding origin of petroleum. Everybody knows. One is biogenic origin theory, or it is called fossil fuel theory. The second is a biogenic theory. Means there is no involvement of fossils or organic matter to form the global petroleum reserves. Both the theories have strong evidences, no doubt about it. Both the theories have their strong evidences, both the theories. According to us, more than a century-old debate, it is still pending because the matter of discussion has never been in the right direction. The right questions were not asked. How can you get the right answer? Petroleum is the foundation of the industrial civilization. However, the significance of the petroleum began to increase when it began to be used to other purposes, such as lighting fuels in the 19th century, followed by the opening of oil refineries. But the drilling of first successful oil well in Pennsylvania, 1859, by Edwin Drake, marked a major breakthrough and was supposed to bring a revolution in coming years. Petroleum began to be regarded as a strategic mineral for such which supplies had to be ensured. Thus, search for oil widened and several theories developed simultaneously speculating the origin of oil. Global petroleum is a compound of a unique chemistry. Hence, its genesis still remains a matter of debate among the scientist circle. As I have mentioned earlier, there was two models. One is biogenic, means the organic matter from biological sources or deceased biomass or fossils has converted into global petroleum reserves through various burial stages. And the second is totally opposite. There is no involvement of fossils or biomass to produce the global petroleum reserves. So both are quite opposite of each other. The theorist of biogenic theory advocates that global commercial interest in hydrocarbons have been expelled from decayed biomass in the sedimentary environment. These hydrocarbons have been expelled from productive sedimentary source rock and got trapped in the reservoir rock, right? Everybody knows. Thus, buried biomass is the dominant source of these hydrocarbons. This is the pinpoint. Please note down. Thus, buried biomass is the dominant source of these hydrocarbons. It is supposed because global petroleum hydrocarbons has been expelled from sedimentary rocks and trapped in the reservoir rock. This is the one point. This theory has been widely accepted, and the models suggested by biogenic theories are currently being used by a large number of oil drilling companies to extract oil successfully. Yes, correct. This theory has given us a correct method to find new oils. The conventional biogenic theory is advanced and explanation of why most of the large petroleum and natural gas deposits are found in the regions that were once the mouth and deltas of ancient rivers and among the prehistoric coastal reefs. A corollary is that the sedimentary deposits are finite in nature, thus leading of the origin of oil or peak oil theory, which claims that the oil being a finite source would get more expensive to extract and that their production would be reach a peak at some time in future, declining as evidence of maximum rate of production in an area under consideration. Unmet demand and increasing prices by Roberts 2004, Davis 2005, Henberg 2005, Simmons 2005. Now, I will not discuss here the total evidences in favor of biogenic theory because this is an endless debate. I will not discuss the total evidences of abiotic theory. Again, this is an endless debate. But I must read here some evidences in both sides. Biomarkers, correct? Petroleum contains biomarkers in almost all oils that are of organic chemical remnants of once living organism. The presence of biomarker is the key indicator for an ultimately biological sources of the petroleum. This is structural correlation between the biological pigment chlorophylls and porphyrin pigments in shale, coal, and petroleum by Trebis 1934. Eglinton and Calvin in 1967 showed that oil contains many chemical fossils and biomarkers almost in all oils. This is the one point from where this theory starts getting advanced biomarkers in all petroleums. Stable carbon isotope composition in oil were found to be line with biogenic origin by Craig 1953. As a living organism favors certain carbon isotope more than others, thus confirming biogenic origin of petroleum. Later, this isotope theory has been challenged by the abiotic theory. I will tell you later. Yes. It is found that types of kerogen, kerogen 1, kerogen 2, believed to be a biogenic origin and has been associated with different oils, gas, and coals. According to the early prominent scientists, organic matter has been transformed into global reserves through various burial stages in sedimentary environment. Yes. Yes. This is a point of discussion. All the prominent scientists, if you know this, the organic matter has been transformed into global petroleum reserves through various burial stages in sedimentary environment. They have not specifically defined the source of organic matter. This is the main point. They have just simply told us the organic matter has been transformed. It is correct also. It is scientifically true also. But we must know the source of organic matter, because all organic matter do not comes from biotic sources. Here is a very big confusion. Even you see 99.9% people think the organic matter means it comes from biomass, from one's living organism. This is not the fact. This is the flaw. This is the right question. The source of organic matter from biomass, from biological sources or abiotic sources. Rest of the fossil fuel theory is correct. All the principles of fossil fuel theory is correct. All the burial stages, everything is correct. But the problem in very first stage, organic matter, source of organic matter. If we change organic matter from abiotic sources, this we can reconcile all the principles of fossil fuel theory, all the principle of abiotic theory. Just we have to do very minor change in very much first assumption, that is organic matter. Okay. Commercial interesting hydrocarbons along the global along the globe are expelled from thermally mature organic rich sedimentary rocks. The drilling line done in the line with the biogenic theory of oil formation has resulted as a vast amount of oil. Yes, I have already told. The method suggested by the fossil fuel theory is absolutely correct. Expulsion of commercial interesting hydrocarbons from sedimentary source rock is correct. What? It doesn't mean fossil fuel theory is also correct. It doesn't mean deceased biomass is the dominant source to produce these productive sedimentary source rocks from which we are getting oil. It's not true. We have to deep diagnose if biomass is real source to produce the productive sedimentary source rock, or just has been mixed to confuse us as a dominant source. You know, today we have very good softwares to pre-evaluate the amount of hydrocarbon, amount of oil, volume of oil, to calculate the value of the reservoir before drilling even. Yes. Now we have fracking for unconventional oil that has not been extracted naturally. So there is no doubt, expulsion of oils from sedimentary rock is scientifically true. and the method suggested by the fossil fuel theory is correct. There is no doubt about it. But the fossil fuel theory is correct, it is doubtful. Fossils are the dominant source, it is doubtful. When we will diagnose the real source of organic matter that has been transformed into transformed into global petroleum reserves, along with fossils through different burial stages, then we will know what is the exact theory. That is why I have requested Mr. Nitin Doshi to name this webinar as true region of organic matter instead of true region of hydrocarbons. True regions of organic matter for global petroleum, for global commercial interesting petroleum. Yes. Yes. Everybody knows about Dr. Thomas Gold, a very well-known advocate of abiotic theory. This is the man who translate some papers of Russians and educated the Western people about abiotic theory. One of the most leading advocate of biogenic theory, Dr. Thomas Gold. What is that? Dr. Thomas Gold once convinced the Swedish government to test the abiotic theory by suggesting another different method other than suggested by the fossils fuel theory advocates. This is the biggest mistake. I earlier mentioned, if the abiotic theory is correct, it doesn't mean they have to or they must have to suggest another method. Why? Why? If the method is suggested by fossil fuel theory is correct, then no need to suggest another method. Just to diagnose, if the method is correct, it is really the fossil fuel theory is also correct. This is the point. Here is the point. I think I always say Dr. Thomas Gold has done a very big mistake to suggest another method and put the advocates of abiotic theory to back foot, maybe 40 years or 50 years. These drillings are the most serious attempt to test the abiotic oil formation theory. The drilling failed to locate any recoverable amount of hydrocarbon. After that, many geologists and scientists dismissed the Biogenic model. I earlier told you this big mistake of Dr. Thomas Gold put the abiotic theorist on back foot. Big mistake. Okay. Now I will come to some, not all, there are tons of evidence in abiotic theory by the advocates of abiotic theory. Even if you will Google, there are hundreds of papers in favor of abiotic theory. Not hundreds, maybe scores. But if you Google the biotic theory, fossil fuel theory, you will get very few papers, maybe 4, 5, 10 papers maximum. But when you Google the abiotic theory, you will get the hundreds paper with uh, different evidences in favor of abiotic theory. It is not possible to discuss all. Again, there will be endless debate, which evidence is correct, which is not correct. What I will say, hundreds of evidence will not incorrect. Hundreds of evidence will not incorrect. You know, if you want to prove any theory, you need hundreds of evidence, and only single evidence against it can refute it, can deny it, can disprove it. What you will see, there are hundreds of paper, hundreds of evidence that are against that biomass is not a source. This has been formed beneath the surface of the earth without any involvement of fossils, without any involvement of biomass. So what is the truth? Which is the truth? Where is the truth? This abiotic theory, you know, also called the Ukrainian and Russian theory. Some people call it Ukraine and Russian theory. You know, many prominent scientists are from Ukraine and Russia. This theory recognized petroleum as a primordial material of deep origin by Kucherov, Croatian 2010. The theory argues that the hydrocarbons are naturally produced on a continual basis deep with the earth or in the mantle of the earth without any involvement of biomass or living organism we know today. It then migrates upward through deep faults into reservoir rock to form global is not a dominant source of petroleum formation. Means both are contradictory of each other. One is saying expulsion from sedimentary source rock. That is why it is biogenic, biomass is source. Another one is saying it has been formed beneath the surface of the earth, so no need of biomass. Biomass has nothing to produce it. So this debate is going on from last 150 years. Next. I cannot involve in myself to debate all the evidences in favor of abiotic theory. It is not possible, because if we will discuss one point, there will be another manipulations by the other group. So this system will carry on. For one is saying this evidence is okay, second is saying no, it is not okay. So I must say hundreds of evidence cannot be fake, cannot be false. You will, if you will Google the abiotic theory, abiogenic theory, you will get hundreds of evidence in favor of abiotic theory. All are not fake. If you club all are not fake. Yes. Theoretical calculations based on the method of modern statistical thermodynamics have established that polymerization of hydrocarbon take place in the temperature range of 600 to 1500 degrees Celsius and at a pressure range of 20 to 70 kbar, told by Kenny in 2002. Means one evidence is these hydrocarbons, these complex hydrocarbons, such a complex hydrocarbons only can be formed beneath the surface of the earth. This temperature range is not prevails in the sedimentary environment. So, according to Kenny, originally these has been formed beneath the surface of the earth. In the mental condition, in the mimic conditions, these condition prevails deep in the earth at the depth of 70 to 250 kilometers by Carlson in 2005. So, I mean to say, if the hydrocarbon, the same oil we are using in our daily life that has been expelled from sedimentary source, according to these advocates, this can be formed only beneath the surface of the earth, below the 70 to 250 kilometers. These complex hydrocarbons can only be formed beneath the surface. Okay. Thus, above state facts goes against the fossil fuel theory. I earlier told you this condition do not prevail in the sedimentary environments. The second is the FTT, yes, Fischer-Tropsch process, or very famous called FTT, developed in 1920 in Germans. By German, is proof what is the possible to create the long chain petroleum-like hydrocarbons starting from inorganic reactants in laboratories under the controlled conditions and in the shallow geological environments. This is also a very important and strong evidence against the fossil fuel theory. Okay, discovery of a abiotic hydrocarbon in space. Now, everyone knows we have observed a lot of hydrocarbon lakes at Titan. Astronomers have also been frequent proposers of the abiotic petroleum theory in recent decades. According to Cronin in 1998, carbonic chondrites and other planetary bodies, including asteroids, comets, and moon, have been shown to contain hydrocarbons and other organic compounds while no biological life is present there. For example, Saturn's orange moon Titan has 100 times more liquid hydrocarbons than all non-oil natural gas reserves on Earth. Yes. We have observed 100 times more hydrocarbon lakes at Titan. I earlier told Titan and Earth many ways are similar. If we heat the Titan or if we cool the Earth, both are similar in many ways. And there are 100 times more liquid hydrocarbon lakes where there is no sign of life. Even in Mars, even in carbonic chondrites, planetary bodies, it is proven, asteroids, comets, moons, where no life has been observed. This is the point. Next. Presence of some traces of elements like vanadium, nickel, copper, cobalt, zinc, etc. in Hydrocarbons also do not clearly explainable the biotic region of petroleum. You know, in Venezuela, there are a lot of vanadium contaminations in Venezuelan oil. It's not clearly explainable by the biotic theory. Anyway, also don't clearly explain it in biotic origin of petroleum. According to Sazatmari, yes, very good point. In 2005, you know what they have done? They have analyzed 68 Brazilian oils and 9 foreign oils. And they have determined 24 metal traces in the oils, showing fine correlation of the oil with chondrite and mental periodites, and less correlation with the oceanic and continent crust, none with the seawater. So it is also a good point. Good correlation of 24 traces element oil with chondrite and mental periodites, and less correlation with oceanic and continental crust. It is means it is he is trying to show that the oil has been formed beneath the surface of the earth, from where it has been migrated upward to the surface of the earth or in the reservoir. The second point, another point is association with helium. You know, the common association of hydrocarbons with inert gas helium is also not explainable by biotic theory of petroleum. This helium is primordial. So, what is the truth? Where is the truth? If both the theories have strong evidences and both are the opposite of each other, as one saying is formed from biogenic matter and another saying is no involvement of a biogenic matter, then wait, what is the truth? This debate is going on. Nobody cares why this matter has been not solved, why this matter is pending from last 150 years. Me and my daughter Nibi both try to deep diagnose why this matter is pending. What is the problem? Both we observed right question has not been raised. The right question has not been raised, then how can you get the right answer? We have found both the followers of both the theories are ignoring the strong evidences of each other. One is trying to prove this has not been expelled from sedimentary source rock. This burial process, this corrosion 1, corrosion 2, this organic matter, all is false. This has not been expelled from sedimentary source rock. And the other group is trying to prove all these burial processes. They are trying to correlate each and every oil with different sedimentary basins. They are trying to calculate the oil before drilling. So what is the truth? Me and Nibi diagnosed, there is no need. This is the mistake. No need to ignore the scientific evidence of each other. There is hard need both the advocates to sit in one stage, at one stage, to respect the strong evidence of each other. Even it is not fair. Even it is not fair if you ignore the evidence of each other. Science will not allow this. This is not a science if you ignore the scientific of other sides. Hard need. Just sit together. We are from same planet. Why we are quarreling with each other? We should respect. Both sides should come on one side. Then you deep diagnose which is the correct method, which is the correct balanced hypothesis, which is the correct balanced theory, or which can be the only possible model. This is the wrong direction. Both sides should sit together. This is the correct direction. If it is scientifically correct that most of the commercial interesting hydrocarbons has been expelled from sedimentary source rock, the followers of abiotic theory must regard this, must respect this evidence. They should not to manipulate this evidence. Why? No need. They should examine if the hydrocarbons has been expelled from sedimentary rocks are really in biogenic origin in nature, or fossil are the dominant source of these hydrocarbons, or just has been mixed to confuse us. According to the current fossil fuel theory, again, this is the same matter. Organic matter got buried in different stages to produce commercial interesting hydrocarbons. Same, the pinpoint is, if you will Google, if you will observe all the theorists of biogenic origin, you will see they have just told us organic matter has been transformed. The theorists of abiotic theory deeply observed this point. They have just mentioned the organic matter only, not organic matter from biological sources. And people has assumed only that the organic matter is from biologic sources, because all this organic matter has been mixed with the fossils, with the biomass in the burial stages, in the burial history. What this theory does not explain whether this organic matter is necessarily biogenic or biogenic. I have already told you. All organic matter does not come from living organism, or all living organisms do not leave behind the organic matter. Hence, it is highly probable that organic matter present in global commercial hydrocarbon is of non-biogenic origin. Yes, correct. If you want to reconcile, if you want to respect the strong evidences of abiotic theory, there is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong. It is mathematically calculation that this organic matter has come from abiotic sources. because this is the only possible model. If this has been expelled from sedimentary rock, then the organic matter has come from abiotic sources. Mixture of both has formed the potential sedimentary rock. This is very much fair. This is mathematically calculation. Nothing wrong to conclude this. Nothing wrong to assume this. Okay, very good, Nivi. Thank you. This is a good. Let us come on definition of organic matter. I have earlier told you. Some definition of organic matter likewise only consider organic matter is to refer only the carbon contents. Please note down. Or organic compounds, all organic compounds, and do not consider the origin of decomposition of the matter. In the sense, not all organic compounds are created by living organism. All organic matter, all organic compounds are, not all organic compounds are created by living organism, or all living organisms do not leave behind the organic material. Now you can ask yourself, do you know this? That the organic matter may be possible come from abiotic sources? No. If you will ask the young generation, organic matter means came from biological sources only. This is the pinpoint problem. Problem in the organic matter, not in the expulsion, not in the sedimentary environment. Thus, I felt a dire need to investigate the source of all organic matter. I have already told you. In my opinion, organic matter has came from another site, another source. Fossils has came from another source. And I will show you another example, very much clear example in another slide. Nivi will show you. It's a very clear example. Show that, please. Okay. This is a fossil fuel theory. Without knowing prior, this is a clear-cut example. My wife was putting this pickle and I taken this picture. Suddenly came in my mind. This is a clear-cut fossil fuel theory. This is a misconception. I taken the picture and called it large pickled rock. Large is my mother name. You will, if you want to find the oil, you have to find this pickled rock. This is the fossil fuel theory. Without knowing prior, if you will ask a child who do not know how this pickled has been put, he will say, this oil has came from these delas, these fossils. After maturation, after decomposed of these delas, this oil has come down. These spices, all spices and oil are the product of these delas. What? When he will see how this pickle has been put in the jar, he will be strange. The oil has came from another side. Bellas, that is green vegetables you seen in this picture, has came from another side. Salt, very important to put this pickle, this came from another side. Spices, different spices, chili, turmeric, another many, all come from another side. That make this unique chemistry of oil. You know, that's why I am saying petroleum is another thing. Hydrocarbon. Petroleum is mainly consisting of hydrocarbons. What? It is a very complex, unique chemistry of a mixture of many things, as in this picture. Same. This is a clear-cut example of fossil fuel theory without knowing prior. If you want to find oil, you have not to find the sedimentary basins where TOC is good. No, you have to find the large pickled rock. Please listen again. Where? Because this pre-germinated organic matter, abiotic hydrocarbons, abiotic organic matter, put these fossils preserved as this in pickle. Lot of things are required to remove this oil, to re-liberate this oil from these sedimentary rocks. Not only the organic matter, it is not only the mixture of organic matter and the fossils, many things, even just like spices. Only then this oil can be re-liberated from the sedimentary rock. Otherwise, you have to frack. Lot of things you required to re-liberate this oil from sedimentary rock. That is why we need the fracking. So now, if the method suggested by fossil fuel theory is correct, then why we need this balanced hypothesis? Why we need this only possible model? What are the benefits of this model? Everybody will ask this question. What is the benefit of this balanced hypothesis? Yes. I must tell you here, suppose if followers or advocates of fossil fuel theory suggest us the hundreds locations. By using this balanced hypothesis, by chasing this large pickle rock, you can more choosy. You can segregate where are the potential locations and where are the dry sedimentary rocks. Where are the dry holes? You can segregate, say 25 out of hundreds. You can remove 75 locations, so that you can avoid, you can reduce the risk of failure. You can reduce the risk of dry holes by using this method, by chasing the large pickle rock. Because when you will know, you have to chase the large pickle rock, then you will find where this organic matter is coming, from where the spices are coming, from where these fossils are coming, and where you will find the junction. You can choose. These are the benefit. And second thing, the main constituent is organic matter from abiotic sources. When you will know the source of this organic matter, for this necessary organic matter from abiotic sources, you can definitely find the from where this organic matter has came, from where this organic matter has been migrated. You can chase better locations, better directions, even where it has been migrated, where it has been settled in final resting place, nearest final resting place, I will say. You can find which sedimentary rocks and which locations are gas prone and which locations are oil prone, and from where it has been migrated to the surface, or it has been from cosmic also. You can find better directions. First of all, you can find the better directions from where this organic matter has been migrated and where it has been reached to final resting place, where it has been settled, in which sedimentary basin it has been settled. If this main constituent is absent in any sedimentary basins, you will not find oil. No oil, no gas. So here is the main difference. Here is the main constituent of this global petroleum from abiotic sources. So the basic funda is first of all, the first thing you have to find the source of organic matter, from which source this organic matter has been migrated, from where it has been migrated, and in which directions it has gone. Yes, next. This is conclusion. This is my view, my quote. If advocates of abiotic theory respect the expulsion of commercial oil and gas from sedimentary source rock, then this theory has more weightage than fossil fuel theory. Thank you. Thank you.